McCann. I'm the athletic director for the school district. You know Coach Buxton. He's the head girls coach here, so you guys are a little fortunate here to have the head varsity girls basketball coach here in the building to help with the program. So we're very fortunate that way. We have one 7th grade team, one 8th grade team at the middle school now. Season starts pretty quick. I mean, it's kind of a short season. What we've done, and those of you playing softball, volleyball, cross country right now, then we go to girls basketball, and then in the spring we have soccer and track for the girls to do. So trying to get a little bit of everything in there for the season. So that's why the girls basketball season goes as it does right now. So physicals are coming up in a couple weeks, and then actually the tryouts practice is going to be October 13th. So we have about 3 weeks to get ready. The first game's the end of October, and then you play games November, December, and we're done by Christmas with things that way. So it's a short season, but you're playing 2 or 3 games a week, so you're going to get 16, 17 games in during that time. So it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's the first time you get to play for a school. Some of you played elementary and got to wear the Williamsport name, but this is always nice when you're playing for your school that way and doing that. So it's always a fun time to get acclimated, get into sports that way for you guys that way and represent your school. The main thing we need to take care of is physicals to get ready for things. So that's what I'm going to kind of go over right now is some of the paperwork. And it's going to be a little different this year because some of it's online. If you haven't done a sport yet. If you've already played a sport, it's just going to be like 1 page to fill out, and then you're going to be good to go. So it should be a little simpler to do. We moved to this online platform now, especially with this COVID. We're not handling papers and doing that. Everything's online, so it takes a little bit of time. But once you put your stuff into the system online, it's going to be there for the rest of your career. So if you're in 7th grade right now,
that's actually pretty cool.
It is. It's going to be nice. So your family enters all your stuff. Now, if you have some updates or changes, because originally we used to have like a 10-page packet. You have to sign your life away, and you would, your parents would, it would take forever. And then you do it again for the 2nd sport, again for the 3rd sport. But now with everything online, your information's in the system, it's there from year to year. That way it just moves up. If you move, you just adjust your address, that type of thing. So it is going to make life a lot easier for you guys. So if you haven't played a sport yet this year, if you want to raise your hands, if you didn't play cross country, softball, volleyball, cheerleading, put your hand up. So I got to give you one of these sets of papers here. We got a bunch of first sporters here. Okay, so I'm just going to go over this real quickly with you. And this is just kind of a cover letter and explains what it is. Because like I said, it's going to be online. You're going to have to go in and create accounts. So what we want you to do, you're going to go to bring this home. This describes what to do for your families. But you're going to go to the athletic website. You're going to register to go online. And then kind of on the back page is what you're going to do. Now, you have to create, so you can explain it to your parents that you heard it. You have to create an account. And your parents have to create an account. Use an email, use your cell phone number, whatever, but you create an account and a username, and you need to save that, because again, that's going to be for the rest of your career. If you're going to play sports in the high school or next year in 8th grade or whatever, you hang on, write it down, put it in your phone so you have it. Your username and password, and then your parents' username and password. You need to hang on to all that. So you go in, you sign up to this planethighschool.com, create the accounts, and then you link them together. See, and your parents will like this, because if you have siblings, if you have 2 or 3 kids playing sports, your parents just need to do their part of things once. Now they have to do stuff for you individually each time, but they link them together. So if you get on there, it's a lot of self-help stuff. It says link your accounts. So you want to link your account, you click it, and then you put your parents' cell phone number, your parents' email, whatever they create their account in. It sends an invitation, so when they log in, all you do is show accept or decline. You hit accept. Your accounts are linked together. So that's what needs to happen first. So you each create an account, you link the accounts together, And then you get into the athletic forms. And it's similar, those of you who played sports in the past years, these forms are all the same. I mean, you got that section 1 with the emergency contact, you got section 2, you'll see all the forms there, and then you'll see the school forms. There's a rules form that you have to fill out all the general rules about being in school and no drinking, no drugs, the attendance policy, all that stuff that you need to sign normally anyway, it's all online. The reasonable suspicion drug testing policy, it's all online. And then we did add a form in there, which probably won't pertain to you, but you still have to do it to complete the file. It's an overnight trip. So a lot of the high school times, like wrestling or basketball, when we get to the high school, you may have an overnight trip with the basketball team where you go to a tournament, you stay overnight. So this is just kind of a permission slip from you and your parents saying, yes, I agree to behave when I'm representing the school, that type of thing. So you have to fill that out as part of this process too, but they said you may not need it for this year, but you still do it. So you do all the PIAA forms, all the school forms online. So it's just using your computer, you initial, you put your stuff in, you sign and submit, it takes you to the next form. So it's pretty slick. It's nice, it's convenient. The coaches all have access to it then, so instead of shuffling papers, so say you're at a game over in Bloomsburg, something happens, coach needs to get in touch with your family, they can pull it up on their phone, boom, boom, all right, here's all emergency contact information. You're not handling 10 pages of paper, oh, I forgot hers, or I didn't have it with me. All the stuff, you have to go to hospital, the emergency contact stuff's right there. So this system's gonna be nice. It's the first year we're using it, so we're still learning. There might be a few glitches or whatever. So what I'm gonna suggest is try to do it this week. Try to get going on it now. So if you have problems with it, you can call, your parents can call me at the high school. We can walk them through it. We can have them come up to the school and do it with me if they have trouble with it. And then that way, you're set for practice and tryouts on October 13th. Because if you don't, then you're not going to be able to try out. So we need to get this part of things in the system so we can see you that way. You come to the school, we get the physical. The physical is going to be offered here on October 5th, and it says it on the back there, on the physical. So we'll have physicals, free physicals, they're here at school. They don't cost you anything. So those of you who haven't played a sport yet, I would suggest coming to the school physical. It's right after school down in the nurse's office. So you fill out all this information online ahead of time, and you don't need to bring anything to the physical. You just show up. So you fill this out. We'll have a blank physical form. The doctor will fill it out. It's a female doctor. She'll be here doing the physicals, and she'll sign it, and then we'll upload it to your account, and then you're good to go for the year. So if you decide to go out for track or soccer in the springtime, all your stuff will be in the system already, and then you'll be ready to go for the spring season, okay? It's gonna be nice. As I said, it takes probably about half an hour for you and your family to get into there. You have to answer all the health history questions, and like I said, just like you would normally filling everything out by hand. But instead, you're doing it on the computer this year.
Mr. McCann, is the physical during school or after school?
It's after school, so right after school at 2:50, go down to the nurse's office, first come, first serve. So you come in there, Mr. Schultz will be there, give you a number, go have some chairs lined up on the wall, you get your physical, it's 10 minutes at most. A couple nurses do the screening, and then they do like I said, Dr. Douglas comes in, she gives the physical, and then you're good to go. Okay,
Can
so
I bring shorts and t-shirts?
Shorts and t-shirt is what you should wear, so that it's a lot more comfortable with your physical that way. So instead of having jeans, you might want, yeah, that's a good idea, Coach.
So you guys might want to write that down. After school, October 5th.
Yeah.
Bring shorts and
Bring
t-shirts.
shorts and t-shirt that you can change into.
So if you're going to get the physical here, you might want to write it down.
Yep. Does that make sense? But you have to have that physical, because what's going to happen on October 13th, we're going to come down and see the coaches. All right, these are the girls that can try out. I mean, if your name's not on the list, you can't practice, you can't try out that day, then obviously that's going to affect you, could affect you making the team. Okay, so it's important to get this stuff taken care of. Like I said, we still got a couple weeks, but we wanted to get it to you well ahead of time so that you had the time. Because again, this is new, so it's going to take some time to get on the computer. There's even a way, if you look at the back of that, to do it with your mobile phone. The computer's a lot easier to do it and answer questions, but if you don't have that, if you have the mobile phone, you do it. I mean, I'm sure we have some space here at school. We had some families come up to the high school and put them in the library. The student was on one computer, mom and dad on the other computer, and they got their accounts in. So we'll work with you if you have trouble with the internet at home or getting registered, but we just I want to impress upon you, you need to get that taken care of as soon as possible to get things ready to go. Does anybody have any questions about that part of things right now? Okay, so it looks like we got 2 of you that play in the fall, that did the fall, got the physical, got the school physical already. So the second sport is a little more different, a little different right now because this is new. They don't have this form online for us yet. They're supposed to have it within the next couple of weeks. But what we're gonna do for you two, we're just gonna do the hard copy for now. Okay, so this talks about the second sport. What I need is this last page filled out. You've already done the first page, so don't worry about doing the emergency one. This one, it's called the recertification, section 7. So you want to have your parents fill that out. There's 6 questions there. So if you answer no to all those questions, you haven't been hurt, nothing's happened in the meantime, you sign it, your parent signs it, that's it. You don't need to do anything else with things right now, okay? So we'll upload this form for you. So what I'm asking for you to, turn this form in to the main office. Give it to Mrs. Jameson or Mrs. Engel in the main office. They have a basket there that they'll keep for us and do that. So you just, like an interim history, you sign it, they sign it, and put it in. Again, hopefully in a few weeks this will be online, but for you guys, we want to make sure you have it right now so that you're ready for tryouts again too. So we just need that. You guys don't need another physical or anything. That way, you just need to sign that and fill that out. Okay? Any questions about that? Yes?
What if in the fall you were to try out for a team and you already got the physical, but you didn't make the team?
Okay, then you can use the second sport one. Is that your case?
Yeah.
Yep. Then you can use this, if you wouldn't need the first sport, you'd be a second sport. So yeah, you don't need another physical if you had one already for the school things. School basketball is going to be a little bit more of a commitment than what you guys have had before without some of the other sports. That's just something, especially as 7th and 8th grade girls who may have played before or not, I want to make you aware of it. You're going to practice every day, Monday through Friday, Monday through Saturday probably. You have games on Saturdays. So it's a commitment and you're expected to be there all the time. So it's not like AYSO soccer or elementary basketball or Barrow League basketball, you practice once a week and then you play your games. It's a commitment, so make sure you understand that coming in. You're expected to be at practice every day. Even if you're on your off day, A students, B students, you have to be here. Remote students, you have to be at practice right now, every day. So think about that. We have buses that come up. I don't know if some of you are riding athletic buses or know about that. There are 4 buses from around the community that come in, drop off around 2:20, 2:25 for practices every day for kids that are off school to come in for football and softball and things right now. So just to let you make sure you're aware of that, it is a commitment and you're expected to be there every day for things.
Is there a place on the athletic website where they can get that information?
Yes, yeah, there's a bus schedule there and we can hand it out to the coach there that way. If you need rides, I mean, whether you're carpooling or whatever, or riding the athletic buses. Coach, what am I missing?
That's really it. I'm gonna tell you guys, last year we kept 15, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if we're doing that this year because rules we have. That's something we'll talk about as we go. Because you're only allowed so many in the gym at a time right now. I think it's 25.
Yeah.
That's coaches, referees. So understand, the other thing with basketball is it is for fun. It's supposed to be a fun sport. We come to have fun. We want to win in the end. We're have fun, build a little chemistry with everybody. We want everybody to be a family. The bickering, that fighting stuff is nothing we don't want on that program anymore. We're trying to get past that. We're trying to go where people can come pleasant, have fun, enjoy yourself. Because in the end, it's a sport. It's only for fun. You're a student athlete. Student part is first. Understand? Academics is one of the biggest things we have here. If you're not academically eligible, you're not playing. And if by chance you have a D, you have the D because you're not handing in work, we'll sit here and put you in the ISS room to make up work. If you're in school, to make that up. That's the most important thing because we have kids that you play all your years and you can't go to college because you don't meet a certain requirement. So we try to start that down here lower. We're starting workouts next week. It'll be announced here. I don't know if we can put it on the side or send it out, but we'll announce it here when we start workouts next week. If you're not in another sport, try to make it so we can work on things. Now, some of the girls I've seen in summertime, there's probably like 1, 2, 3, 4 girls that were coming to workouts in the summertime. I put it on the Remind app that we have for Little Millionaires, so it'll be the same thing going forward. Does anybody have any questions about anything with basketball, what we're doing? Question, how many 8th graders are in here? I know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I know you two play back there.
Anything we missed, Coach?
No.
Yeah, it's Coach Smith, she's a volunteer coach, so she'll be there. Our 7th grade coach is Dominique Thomas. She coaches softball here also for middle school. She coaches softball at Bishop Newman High School. She's been here, 3-4 years now coaching. We picked up a new 7th grade assistant. That is gonna be, well, she played basketball at Williamsport too. The new 7th grade assistant is Michelle Walker. She played basketball at Williamsport also. Our 8th grade assistant is Alicia Ross. She played at Williamsport, played over at Penn Tech. I think she's the leading scorer over there at Penn Tech for boys and girls basketball. And right now we're looking at 2-3 people for our 8th grade head coach. So you have people that have experience, that's been there, that works the program. I mean, I'll be there a lot, like the beginning part of workouts, the next couple of weeks I'll be there. Now when we get into season hours, there's times I won't be able to be there, but we will be at games. And one of the things that we talked about at high school, we're trying to get down here, when you guys go somewhere, you represent Millionaire Basketball, you represent your family and your name. We don't look to embarrass anybody. We don't look to embarrass ourselves. So when you go somewhere, you carry yourself correctly in public. We don't look to act like fools. We don't look to disrespect other places, other teammates, other players. When we leave somewhere, we expect them to say, wow, that Williamsport team was really good. They carried themselves correctly. Win or lose, we do the same thing every time. Everybody understand that? And then one more thing, there's a new rule that went out, let's put this out, for attitudes on the court. Swearing, disrespecting, coach, and other player, thing like that can get you out for 2 games. Is that what it is now? 2 games. It's not us, it's the PIAA. So if a referee hears you swear or talk down to somebody, there's 2 games automatically that you sit out. So just to give you guys a heads up.
Does anybody have any questions? Anything we missed that you need to take home to your parents? Go
Do
ahead.
you have to wear a mask during practices and games?
We're still working through some of that information, what it's gonna look like in the wintertime. I think what we're doing in the fall is when you're actively engaged in workouts or games, you do not need to wear a mask. If you're on the sidelines, on the bench, yes, you would need to wear a mask. So if you're, as of right now, if you're not in the game, in a game situation, you would have to wear the mask. In practice, if you can socially distance and spread out, you don't need to wear your mask when you're working out. When you come together, if everybody's close together, you need to put a mask on if coach is gonna talk to you guys close that way. So we'll see how things evolve for the winter time. Like you said, they're meeting today actually down at our state headquarters to look at things for the winter season a little bit. So we'll know more as we go, but plan, unfortunately right now, it's, as you guys are learning, it's a whole new world. We plan on wearing a mask as much as we can. We wanna be able to have a season. So that's kind of one of the things they're doing, trying to make sure we're not spreading things within each other that way. You'll be screened every day when you come in for practice and workouts. They'll take a temperature and ask you a few questions on things. So if you've got a smartphone, bring that. We have a little scan code, you scan it, you answer the questions, you get your temperature taken, you're good to go. Again, that's more for contact tracing and again, screening. If you do feel sick at all, even just a little bit, stay home. Stay away. You don't want to jeopardize yourself, your teammates from getting sick if something is going on that way. So we just ask you to, okay, same thing you're doing here in school. Just be smart about it. Like I said, if you're not feeling well, stay away until you get to talk to people and look at things. It's not going to hurt you if you're saying I'm not feeling well. They're not going to hold it against you if you miss a practice or miss a game because you're not feeling well, especially this year. Things.
But now, if you say you stay at home because you don't feel well, I expect to see you out somewhere else, or we're allowed to go to boys' game. You guys are at a boys' game. That happened last year at the high school. Girl told me she was sick. I stopped by the middle school. She was at the middle school game. So if you're sick, stay home. I understand that. We get that. If there's a real family emergency, you have to stay home. We all been there. We get that. Just don't do it because you're tired or you don't want to be there today. Because you're selling yourself out of your teammates in the program. Because we're not. Every time you guys are there, you get better, our team gets better, our program gets better. And that's the objective we're having. The end objective we have is, the girls haven't won a district since '95. The objective is to win the district championship. Go further, but that's the first step. We made it through 2 years in a row, came up short. So you guys are the same thing. The objective you have is to win here, get better, make it up there, and win a district, and maybe a state.
Anything else that we missed? Mr. Mummer, anything you can think of, or?
I just want to stress the academics part and the behavior part and the attendance part. Those are the big three. You hear from Dr. Ross and I all the time. We will do athletic grade checks every Monday. We'll get those reports directly to your coach and to your teachers. They'll know if you're ineligible. They'll work with you to get you eligible, but that responsibility falls on you. Coach Buxton talked about disrespect and things on the court. I know from working with Coach Buxton, Coach Smith, Mr. McCann, if there's issues here at school with your behavior, they will hold you accountable there as well. It's a situation by situation basis, but if you have problems in school with attitude behavior, it will carry over onto the basketball consequences as well. I feel very certain. And like Mr. Buxton just talked about attendance, if you're healthy and able to be here, we expect you to be here. If you're not here, and you're not here for that entire day until you come back with an excuse.
All right, so take care of the paperwork. Try to take care of it as soon as possible. If you have any questions, my information's on the website. They can call the high school, talk to Mr. McCann, and we'll get it taken care of for you, okay? All right, thank you.